Live from the GPW headquarters, this is GPW Talk Show. And now, with your host, the voice of GPW, Will Rice.
What's going on, everybody? It's your host, your commentator, and your soon-to-be Formula One General Manager in Season 4, Will Rice. I am here with another very special episode of the GPW Talk Show, and my guest at this time is the strange one, the crazy one of the Fallen Kingdom, Dylan Travis, the former GPW World Heavyweight Champion, is here in studio. How you doing, sir?
Well, thank you for having me, but there's one name, just one name you missed off there when you introduced me, just the master plan. You just want to go back and introduce me again, just add that in there.
Right. No problem there. The madman, the man with the master plan, the former GPW World Heavyweight Champion, Dylan Travis. How you doing today, sir?
Thank you for having me on this show. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. So I guess we'll just get right into it. So a few months ago, you fought Eric Hale for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
You suffered a lot of injuries in that match, and you chose not to be looked at by GPW doctors, and you disappeared. No one saw you for a very long time. We would get cryptic videos and messages, but really no one had seen you. So can you tell myself and the people listening what happened there?
Well, obviously you saw that night, that little rat, Eric Hale, pinned me in the middle of the ring. After all I could done, I kicked out with 7 DDTs. I kicked out numerous finishers, but he finally put me away. After I was covered in my own blood, after I was choking, the referee decided to stop the match earlier. What is that? You know, GPW, you've got to be paying these officials money, you know, to stop matches, to call these matches when stuff's happening. When I'm covered in my own blood, when I'm choking in that ring, when my life was on the line and no one gave a shit what was happening that night, that is the reason I ignored the officials. That is the reason I left that night. And that is the reason I did not speak to my Fallen Kingdom brothers, because I knew I would do something so stupid because of my own actions, because of the referee actions that night. So I just had to leave. I just had to walk out the exit with my head held high, knowing when I come back, I was going to cause havoc. I was going to do some interesting things, which I did.
Yes, you certainly did. Showing up after the world title match between Duke Zinda and Eric Hale, where Eric Hale beat Duke Zinda, the first person to do that at Winner's Circle. You somehow were able to get the lights to cut off fast enough to get past me at the desk and get in the ring and basically manhandle Eric Hale after he had a very hellacious match. Was this something you planned since you left, or more something that you thought of right beforehand?
Well, you see, that little voice package I sent just before the pay-per-view. That night, I decided to turn up to the hotel, and I decided to book myself into one of them rooms because, like you said before, like you introduced me, I am the master plan, Dylan Travis. And little did Eric know, I was watching his every single move. Now, if we just like to go back in history, when he won that number 1 contenders match, I supported him, I watched him, but I did not stop watching him after he beat me for my championship.
Well, you're definitely right there. I I remember you were very, very supportive of Eric Kelly because you knew that he would give you a challenge that you've always asked for, even back when you were television champion. You always wanted a challenge, and Eric Hill certainly did give you that. But my question is, was it necessary to slam his head into the post? Was that truly a necessary thing that needed to be done? I mean, I feel like what you did in the ring already, you know, said everything that needed to be said. What was the extra part with the post?
Just what? Could you just repeat what you said about me kicking his head in the ring post just one more time? Just repeat that.
You you kicked his head into the ring post.
That's correct. And you see, that little man I once said that coming into this big playground is a very dangerous world. Coming into the heavyweights is a very, very dangerous world. And I just had to show what he was in store for. He might have defeated me. Well done to him. Because, like you just said, I did ask for a challenge and he gave me that. So well done on his behalf of that. But then I let go of the mask. I left that behind. You see, I did also say that the voices in my head have finally gone. And I can still say they have for now. But Eric, you ain't facing some type of creature like I was. Because when I win that number one contenders match for your championship for the first pay-per-view of this season, there won't be any mask, my friend. There won't be any faded figure anymore. Because I can well and truly say that I have evolved. I can well and truly say that you haven't faced anyone like me yet. And you getting your head squished into that ring post. Oh my, how brutal that was, but how fun that also was. Seeing you squirm and worm after I booted you into a metal structure. I wish I could put that on repeat every single time I come out to the GPW universe just behind me, but I can't.
Well, so as you brought up, there is a six-pack challenge between you, Omari Williams, J.W. Cashman, Duke Zinda, K-Dog. Uh, what what is your strategy for that match? There are people in that match that you've faced before, that you've beaten, that have beaten you. What is your strategy for that match?
What is my strategy? Well, what is my strategy? My strategy is I can't tell you anything. Because if I tell you my strategy, then the other competitors are going to know my strategy. And if the other competitors know my strategy, that means I will be defeated. But wait, there is something I can tell you.
And what's that?
Maybe, just maybe, I can make a little call on my old phone. Just maybe I could have friends that night. Or maybe I could just pick up the victory that night. You need to see which one is the truth and which one is the false in this sentence. Am I gonna defeat everyone clean-handedly like I always do? Or am I gonna ring my buddies up? Am I gonna ask my brothers if they want to show their face, if they want to make a little appearance in this match? So be it. But like you said, anything can happen. And it can. But when you've got the plan, when you're a master plan, oh, things are so much easier. You're just going to have to wait, aren't you? Yeah, I think you are.
Well, I'll definitely be waiting with bated breath for that match. I'm sure as everyone else will, listening in. Thank you, Bill and Travis, for being on the show.
Thank you.
That was the Master Plan, the former World Heavyweight
No,
Champion.
no. Why don't you just say what you were just going to say? You, my friend, can predict the future. Go on, just say it.
Potential World Heavyweight Champion again. The Master Plan, Dylan Travis. This is your host, your general manager, Formula One, your commentator, Will Bryce, signing off. See you soon.